right? And so it's not just about the conversion rate from that lead. It's more about it's another way to just have more conversations around real estate. And if you do good at your job, you're going to get the other referrals as well.
We're playing this into all different channels. Welcome back. We've got something new for you today. A lot of you have been asking, well, Tristan, what's a great CRM that matches with my business or that attaches to a website that has IDX and drips and all this great stuff? Well, we've got Sierra for you. And believe it or not, they've been around for a while. So some of you have heard of Sierra Interactive and some of you haven't. So this is why we're doing this. We've got Zach, who's a broker, real estate agent team, and JC, who's with Sierra. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for doing this, guys. I appreciate this.
Of course.
Happy to jump on and share.
I like it. All right, JC, any questions that come through about Sierra? We're going to quarterback them to you inside of the chat. Jake's watching some of our Facebook, our LinkedIn, Twitter. And if he sees any questions there, he'll quarterback them through here as well. All right.
Okay. Sounds
excellent. Good. Zach,
Yeah.
Dude, tell me about your business and where are you located? How long have you been in real estate?
Great question. Hey, we're at Edmond, Oklahoma City area. So hey, whenever you guys need those Oklahoma referrals, man, send us our way. Those will there. But been in real estate since it's been about 15 years or so now. Started as an agent right at probably the worst time of really bad time after the financial crisis collapsed back in the late 2000s. So that was really fun.
Perfect time to come in, man.
We're going to come in and now we run a half team, half independent brokerage, probably 50-60 real estate agents that work with us here in our market.
I love that.
Some good partner companies, some mortgage on the side, some property management partners and insurance, all that kind of stuff under our house. We do a lot of database.
A lot of things that you offer. JC, where are you located?
I'm in Charleston, South Carolina. So East Coast.
Right. Charleston, yep. South Carolina.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma. I'm in, we'll just call it Ventura County, California. Jake in the background, who you don't see, is also in Ventura. Everyone, let me know I need two things from you, and then we'll get started. What city and state are you from, and how long have you been in this business? So city and state in years, okay? Zach, dude, you're using Sierra Interactive, and you're using it to automate, you're using it to leverage and to help out your team, your brokerage. Talk to me about automations with Sierra Interactive. How does that work?
Yeah, great question. I think again, let's take a step back first. I've been when I first started in real estate, I was a young kid and couldn't really work that sphere of influence very well because nobody's going to trust you or believe you. Just didn't have the database. The people that we knew weren't the people that were buying houses at the time, right? We're definitely not selling houses yet. So I had to cut my teeth another way and did it through the digital marketing space. And over the years, we've done a lot of different websites, a lot of different CRMs, a lot of that stuff. Been a part of some really cool organizations, and we've ultimately landed it with the Sierra piece because it allows us to have a lot more control over keeping in touch with our database. So I'm sure how many times do you see a post or a question inside of the LabCoatAgents asking, hey, what's the best CRM?
Every day. Every day,
right? And what's the top answer?
Dude, you know what the answer I hate? That's the top answer. I'll tell you. I hate that answer. But
right?
That is the number one. I don't know who said that first, but I absolutely hate that answer.
Yeah, it's a horrible answer.
It is.
Yeah, you have to use it, but it also has to work, right?
Like it has to hit the points that we need in our business, right?
Yeah.
So It upsets me. It's a massive pet peeve I have. So I'm glad you do too, Zach.
No, it's not just you, it's me too. But there are a lot of good ones out there. But there is something to that. We still have to use it. And so in order, in whatever CRM you use, I think in order for the automation of the system to work, we have to make sure that agents, either yourself or your team, are using it. And so in order for the automations to work, we always ask our agents to do what we call our big four. They are log the communication, right? So I'm having when my last communication was done, and this is what one of the things I love about the Sierra version we haven't had in the past was having an integrated dialer. We're able to, as a team leader, broker, I'm able to, and my sales manager, able to listen to phone calls agents are making. We can do role plays and objection handlers and overcome those scripts and objections with having that game film. And we also know when we talked about it last, or forgot to write down that email. What was that email we just wrote down? What did we talk about? I can go back and reference that. So they're logging their communication. That's number one.
Okay.
The number two is, are they in the right category? Right? We use categories strictly based on timeline. Right? This is something that I'm really passionate about talking to our agents and the public, or really agent ecosphere about, is what's a lead? Right? What lead is somebody buying or selling right now? Not necessarily, right? Real estate I think is a relationship sales game, meaning if I'm at Best Buy or I'm a car salesman, I can probably script somebody and salesperson somebody into buying a TV today, right? Because I'm a great salesperson and I can use those tie downs and scripting and neuro-linguistic programming to really get them excited about this cool TV, right? You can't do that in real estate. You can't neuro-linguistic program somebody into buying a house today if it's not right for their family, or selling their house today if it's not right for their family. And so being in relationship with them when it is the right time is more important than being good at the scripting and conversion in our theory. That's our working theory.
That's a great theory.
Yeah. So this is why the categories are important. It's because everybody is a lead. The question is, where are they in the process? Are they 6 years out? Are they 7 years out? Are they 1 year out? Are they 90 days out? Right? So that's why the category is important. So number one, we're logging that call, or logging that communication. Number two, we're make sure they're in the right category. Okay. Number three, we're setting our next follow-up. When are we following with this person next? Right?
Got it. So the next action step.
Yeah.
Got it.
Absolutely. When am I going to, so we just talked today. I referred you to a lender. I'm going to follow up tomorrow to make sure you guys got in touch. Or you're moving here in 6 months. You got the job. You got the job interview next week. I'll follow up late next week after the job interview. Right. Whatever that looks like.
Okay. I like
those are the 1, 2, and 3. And the fourth one is, are they on a home search?
Got it.
That's the basic stuff, right?
Dude, the more I'm talking to you, the more I realize that you and I function exactly the same, which is great.
We're just great, and we're phenomenally good looking.
Dude, I mean, well, you know what? It's up to the audience to decide. We'll see what they think. Home search.
Yeah.
I have the philosophy that everyone and anyone in my database needs to be on a home search. What's your philosophy?
Let me ask you this. Who shouldn't be on a home search?
The people that are not in my database.
That's it, right?
Yeah. Okay, good. I thought I got the wrong answer with your. I was like, what? I didn't answer.
Oh, there's nobody, right? Well, they aren't looking right now. Okay, well, do they own a home? Yeah. So now I'm setting them a market report on their home search for their comps, right? Yeah. Or, well, they're not looking for a while. Well, when they do start looking, we want to make sure that we're top of mind when they start looking.
Yeah.
How often do people start? I think our database over the last 5 years, a buyer registration, whether it was a web registration or whether it was an automate or a manual input, has averaged around, I think it was 343 days from registration to close. And in sellers were about 417. So you're able to track that. And so, hey, some people are 90 days, most are a year out or longer than that. So we have to keep in touch with our database.
On that, we've also noticed over the years that the #1 email opened is the home search email, which has always been ridiculous to me. Like, there's no way. I have people on our database that have 100% open ratio, but I've never talked to them because they don't pick up the phone, but they open up that damn email every time. Same thing, right?
But you stole my bad joke I was going to use. I talk to agents all the time about it.
We need to talk more. That's why.
No, I get it every day in orientation. When we orient, bring new agents on board or doing that initial coaching session, we always ask them, hey, what do you think is the best drip campaign? Which email do you think has the best open rate? And they're like, well, maybe it's a qualification plan, or maybe it's a revitalization campaign, or maybe just really fancy text message. And really, it's just a home search. That's the reason they talk to you at the beginning. They don't want you. They want a house or get rid of a house. That's it.
Yeah.
So give them what they want.
I agree, man.
Okay, so I went a long way to answer your question. You said you have 4 things.
I love that. That was good.
But if it starts with those foundational principles first, because the system can't work unless we're keeping the data up to date. Right?
I like that. That makes sense.
So if they're on e-alerts, they're on their or home searches, right? We don't send any home searches from MLS. They're all coming from our website. We have a much higher way to track consumer behavior. What speaks louder, actions or words? Right?
Dude,
their actions.
100%. Yeah.
Right? How many times do you get a buyer lie to you? All the time. Right? And so we base our follow-up on their actions. Right? And we can't follow them around all the time, but what we can do is track them all over the internet. And if they're looking at a house 5 times, I'm gonna get a notification, whether they're looking at it on our white label app we use, or whether they're looking at it on our CR side, which are integrated. We are notifying our agents to they're notifying our agents to, hey, this is what to follow up with.
I have a question on the follow-up. Specifically on that. But first, there's a few people that responded where they're at, how long they've been in the business.
Yeah.
I think Kirk wins. If we're looking for the person that's been in the business for the longest, Marietta, California. What's up, man? 42 years. That's a long time, and I love that. And now we're gonna go for the shortest, and I think it's 4 years. Shenanda, Mountain Home, Idaho, 4 years. I love that. Then John jumped in. John, better late than never. 22 years. I love it. Thank you. Zach, back to you. If they're engaged in your Sierra website and you're getting the notification on the back end, what are some key metrics that you look for that then prompt you to reach out to them?
Yeah, it's a great question, right? Back to the really bad answer, if the one you use of the CRM, we also know that if we're going to fail as a real estate agent or salesman or company, it's probably not going to be to lack of good tech. It's probably going to be the lack of execution, right?
Yeah.
As far as the agent goes. And so even if the best tech's out there, we still have to do our part. And so one of the keys we found to having a high execution level is make things as simple as possible. Less thinking, more doing. Okay. And so every day when our agents log in, they have our filters lined up at the top of their database, right? And they're going from left to right.
Easy.
I'll pull mine up real quick so I can have my.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, man. That way I can see how you guys operate.
Well, I want to make sure I don't share like names and numbers of people on here real quick. So I'm going to just move some stuff around.
No problem.
Looks like we have someone in the chat too that worked for you, Zach. Nick Doe.
Yeah.
Oh, I started under Zach. He's a great broker, and looking back, I see a lot of value in things I learned under him. Nick Doe.
Perfect.
Thanks, JC.
How are you, buddy? All right. So let me see if I can share this. I'm going to try to share a portion. Hold on one second. Let's look.
You froze a little bit, buddy. While we are unfreezing, Nick, dude, you got to tell us some stories about Zach while he's not here. I mean, I'm just joking. Don't. We can save that one for later.
Yeah, no better time.
JC, can you tell me what you hear as from other agents? What's some things that people love about Sierra? Like, what do people are like, oh, this is why I'm still with Sierra after all these years. Oh, this is why I love it. What are some of those things
Yeah.
that you
Yeah, absolutely. And so, kind of tagging on to what Zach was saying, there's a lot in the Sierra platform that allows you to focus as a team on the dollar productive activities that will be successful and drive the business forward. So, like what Zach was saying, setting up the automations, the action plans, the things like that to have the system work for you is so crucial in playing the long game. You heard Zach referencing the lead time, the lead to close time. Having a system be able to do a lot of that work for you. That way you're laser focused on those dollar productive activities that will drive your business and keep you transacting. That's so important, specifically around, where we're at with the market right now. Homes are staying on the market a little bit longer. It's taking a lot more to produce buyers for some of the homes that are listed out there. So having the system really be one of those tools that can play the long game for you is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, here, can you guys see the screen okay?
I can,
Yep.
buddy. I see Jose Resto.
Perfect. Okay. So here our agents start left to right every day when they come in. First one I want to be looking at is this database ads in the last 30 days, right? So yes, we need to work our database really well, but we also can't remember we have to keep feeding it.
Okay, got it.
Right? So feeding it just as important as managing it. So here's some real numbers. We've added 828 people the last 30 days in our office, which this is a slow time of year. For us on that
Where
front.
are you feeding? Where are you feeding the leads from? Google PPC, Facebook, Mets, open houses. What's going on?
Yes.
Let me rephrase this. What's the number one source for you for incoming leads right now?
Our top two lead sources for closed year deals are it's like everybody else's sphere of influence, and then PPC or pay-per-click web registrations. And we'll drive. We'll I think Sierra runs a lot of that stuff for us, but they'll drive traffic through Google, Facebook, retargeting, remarketing. And I want to get to that here in a second too.
Okay.
But as far as the execution goes, to make it simple, agents will start on the left and work their way right. Database ads that I add enough, work my new leads, work my untapped potential, right? My untapped potential would be, folks that this thing will load. My internet's a little slow for me right now, but these are folks that are showing indications that these are showing indications that they've either been back on the website recently and have not been called. Their actions are showing they're doing something, but we haven't communicated with them.
Got it.
Right. And next are our follow-ups due today. So of my big four, I told myself when I was going to follow up next. Right. And so now I'm doing what I told myself I was going to do today. I'm going to do my follow-ups. Got it. Next, I'm going to go to my tasks that I didn't get to. Sometimes we don't get to them all today. Yeah. We should, but we never do. Right. So next, my overdue tasks. Never do. Yeah. Right. Next, I'm going to my safety net number one. It's my needs e-alert. Right. If I know that each lead has to have their home search, here's my safety net to realize that, hey, these are all the criteria of people that should be on a home search. And here's the ones I forgot.
Question on that one, man.
Yeah.
Do all the leads that come through, if they're coming in from, let's say specifically Google PPC, do they come in already set up with a home search based on what they're looking at, or do you have to go in and change that and add that?
Great question. The ones that come through Google PPC, yes, we'll have an automated one set up based on what they're searching for. Right. So we're trying to do as much as we can off the agent as possible. But if they don't have one set up in there, 9 times out of 10, it's a manual ad from an agent.
Oh, got it.
Or maybe they met them up at an open house and the agent forgot to go set one up. Or the referral to the agent just forgot to go set up their e-alert or their property updates.
Perfect.
And this is that safety net. So at the end of your lead gen session, the end of your call session today, you're setting into business, don't forget, agent, to go down and see who you forgot to set up an alert for.
I
Same
like that.
thing with that task, right? What are those active categories that somebody that's in the next that you want to follow up with, that you maybe, well, here's what happens all the time is I'm making a bunch of follow-up calls. Maybe I'm calling 5 or 10 people today, maybe it's 50 or 60, depending on the day or how focused I am in my business. But I'm making a bunch of calls, having a great conversation, right? And this is something I definitely want to follow up with, or you need to call tomorrow, the next day. And then my phone rings, or somebody walks in my office or walks in my room, and I forget, and I get distracted and don't finish logging the information or setting my next follow-up.
Got it.
It happens all the time, right? And so every day when I'm done with my lead gen session, I'll just go back through my safety net number 2. Who did I forget to set my follow-up with that I talked to the last couple of days?
I like that one.
Right. And then this is our data bank. The next one is that data bank. Again, it's a little farther out, people. So the untapped potential one is there's a higher chance of conversion based on activity. And the data bank is the ones that are farther out, that definitely shows some activity, but not as likely based on what they're searching. Maybe these guys only saved a couple favorites, and maybe these guys over here on the untapped potential, are have multiple 5 views of houses and running mortgage calculators and all those really high indicators, and then the lower indicators on the data bank.
I have a question,
yeah.
quick, man, because it's pertinent to this. What's up, Ruth? She's got the question.
Hey, Ruth.
How often are you adjusting the searches for PPC? Maybe they came in looking at homes at $1 million, but later they're looking at 3 million. Do you adjust it? Does it automatically do it? How does this work?
Yeah, it's a great question. When we're going through and making our phone calls, as the system's dialing for us through our calls today, or through these lists we're calling through, we're looking at that. We can pull the property page, see what they're looking at, and definitely make adjustments on that. It's also, I was talking with one of my agents today. She loves finding leads that are looking at properties that are different than what their searches are set up for, because then that gets her a reason to call. Right? So, hey, Tristan, I saw you're looking. I know we talked the other day. You're looking in Ventura and I don't know, whatever else is around. Maybe it's a couple of other counties around the area. And now all of a sudden you're looking at a bunch of, really not looking in Ventura anymore. And now you're looking only in Charleston. Do you mean to tweak this home search up for you, where you only get in Charleston stuff? What's changed? It's a reason to call. It's a reason to add value when you're seeing those.
Makes
and
sense.
So those are opportunities for us to connect the database, which is really what we want to begin with.
I have a question for you. Does the system by any chance do this automatically as people search? Do either of you know the answer? Or yeah,
JC can be this.
JC?
Yes, it does. Yep. So we go ahead and we create that automatically for them. That way they can go in and make adjustments as necessary, like Zach said, when they are having those conversations. But in terms of like the actual searches and stuff themselves, it creates it for them.
Got it. I love it. All right, cool, man. Thank you, JC. All right, continue.
Let's see what's next on here.
Investors.
Next is our investor list. We work with a lot of investors, have a sister property management company, so that's a big list for us specifically. And then this final one is the needs market report, right? That's our home search for our homeowners that aren't actively looking, but we're definitely keeping them at the very least in what's going on. They're a closed past client of ours, or anybody that we know that owns a home, they're getting that report on what's going on in their neighborhood, or their whatever would be a comp for them. Maybe it's their building, maybe it's their neighborhood, whatever, maybe it's their community, whatever their community is, whatever would be a comp for them. They're definitely getting that to stay in touch. Okay, that's a lot of stuff down the list. And this is what's cool about the system. Is we do a lot of investor stuff. So we can segment it out as investors. I've seen other people segment out all kinds of different things. They have new construction segments, they have investor segments, they have downsizing segments, they have, you can segment this and make this database really customizable in whatever you need to do to apply to your market. Or, with those vacation market guys, they'll segment out based on, especially people in different time zones. We'll see them segment out on, hey, these guys are East Coast, these guys are West Coast, these guys are central time zone, and so they're being able to communicate with their folks in the right time as well.
I like that, man. Question from Angelus. I'm not sure or maybe it's Angeles. Can we take a look at your website and who designs it? Like the front end of that.
Yeah, we're in the middle of additional site pages being added right now. You're welcome to look at it. It's just let's see here.
Is that the Homestead Realty.co or code.com?
I'll pop that in the host and panelist. Yeah, it's homesteadrealtyco.com.
Got it. And then Homestead Realty. I see it. It's on the top here. I'll grab it. You know what? I'm going to just share my screen and go through this with you just so you can kind of guide me through it. All right, here we go. This is your site. This is awesome. You got the home search right in the middle. Communities, buyers, sellers, about, contact, careers. I like that.
Yeah.
If I scroll through, you let me scroll and take a look at homes.
Yeah.
I like this. This is a cool thing, dude. Great SEO on this.
We're building out about 8,000 more of those in process right now.
Only 8,000. Got it, dude. You're
and it's a way where we're not having to do that manually. We're able to do that through some scripts. This is something that we weren't able to do in the past, but we're able to do now. We're really excited about that.
Nice. That's cool, dude. You're gonna have to show me that. This report right here. Is this what a seller, when they become a seller, is this what they get after? Something like this?
Yeah, something real similar to that. They're showing some market trends. They're seeing, hey, average prices in their neighborhood. They're seeing average days on market, and they're getting a cool little graph walking them through that, not just active properties in the neighborhood.
I like that. And then the blogs, do you write these through your team? Does Sierra write them for you? Do you use ChatGPT, a mix of everything? What does this look like?
It's a whole mix. You can do them a bunch of different ways.
And if I go into this one, let's take a look.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man. I like that. Adds it like a real blog.
Yeah. And then let's go find a neighborhood, right? Let's go look at an area.
Yeah, give me an area in your city.
Just type in Edmond, EDMOND.
Ed, is that like that?
There we go. City Edmond, Oklahoma.
Let's take a look. Nice. I want to take a look at a map view though.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool. You got open houses are in red. Can I, Zach, I just identify and filter the open houses and send those out to my clients?
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have that as one of our automations and drip campaigns. I think it's their second or third communication to get from us is, would you like a list of open houses?
Dude, you know what? I'm going to stop sharing really quick just to talk to you. One of my favorite texts to do, this is for people that have been in our database and they're kind of dead. It's a simple text that says, I'm not sure if you're here this weekend, but I've got a list of open houses for you. Do you want me to text that or email it to you? That's it. That's all I do. And then people are like, text it, text it, text it, text it. And then we're mass texting. We're like, okay, here we go. That's why I love that feature. That's cool.
Right. We'll do that one. We'll also throw out a distressed property. Say you're looking for a distressed property, short sale or foreclosure. And that one gets a really high answer rate for us as well. 95% of the people out there don't actually want a foreclosure or short sale. They just want a really good deal. But it opens a conversation for us.
Yeah, that's the key, man. Let me ask you something. Because it sounds like you've been doing this for a while. And what I found, I want to know if what I found is similar to what you found. Google PPC to me is our second highest source of closed transactions. Number one is referrals. Google PPC's high up there though. And for us, I've always been very careful as to what company I used to drive the Google PPC to us. And I've tried a lot of them. How do you find the Google PPC leads for Sierra? How do you find them as far as quality?
As far as quality goes, we've been doing PPC for probably 10 years now, with different vendors, you know, and, you know, for a long time, people would say PPC is dead, right? And then it never was for us. We've had some of the best quality, and when I say quality, I want to just quantify that real quick. We're defining quality as connection rate.
Got it.
Were we able to turn this into a real person? Now, after that, that's on us, right? But was this a real person? And was it a real person that is in our target market? What we're targeting, it's not a real person that's looking for the head of the HOA. Is this a person who's thinking about or looking at homes to either buy or sell or home prices, right? If they're looking at that's our target market. And if we're seeing some of the best we've seen in the last several years in the system. We've been very, 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 very pleasantly surprised.
All right, cool, dude. I'm excited to try it. I don't run Google PPC through Sierra, so I'm excited to test it out. I've tested it out with Boomtown, Sync, P4, Real Geeks. Obviously, Ylopo. I still run all of my Google PPC now through Ylopo, and a few other ones. Those are the only ones that come to mind. But I've never tested Sierra's, so I'm excited to test it out. That's good. All right, question. Ruth's got a great question. Thanks for participating, Ruth, and I'm going to get to the other ones. 2 questions. How much are you spending on Sierra, Zach? Right? And do you have the numbers in front of you as far as how many leads or closings that you do from the spend?
Okay, so this is going to be a harder question to answer, right? Because the question, it depends, right? You know, we find, back to the earlier, we talked about registration to close of around 300. Was it 343, 306? I can't remember what the number was. It was in the mid 300s of registration. And what we found is, as we're getting registrations in, our remarketing and retargeting drives a lot of traffic back as well. So although an initial lead source may be, I think you mentioned a couple of different places out there a second ago, maybe an initial lead source may be one of those or somewhere else. It's the continual driving, either the dynamic ads or the Facebook remarketing retargeting ad, that continue to drive that interaction inside the CRM. I'm not trying to beat around the bush for you here, Ruth. I mean, our team has averaged at least 100 PPC closings the last 4 or 5 years, just straight from PPC. And then there's been a bunch of, I mean, I have one agent that she's on her 13th referral from one PPC ad or lead. So she's gotten 13 referrals off from this guy in the last 2 years. And she closed 5 deals for other people before she closed his. Right. And so it's not just about the conversion rate from that lead. It's more about this. It's another way to just have more conversations around real estate. And if you do good at your job, you're going to get the other referrals as well. So we also track secondary source in there. Right.
That's a good one.
We track secondary source. So this is the past client referral from that. So it kind of daisy chains down.
Yeah. Here's what I would say. Ruth's a great agent. So Ruth, you know your stuff. So I'll just cut to the bottom line. When we ran our numbers, because we were running Google PPC since 2009, so Google AdWords. Just the last few years, when we looked at our numbers and broke them down, because we ran Zillow up until 2016 and we cut it off October 2016. And the reason was, and still the same, because we run our numbers, every closing for Zillow would cost us $8,000 per closing. Now, we're in a market similar to yours, Ruth, Malibu, Calabasas, Westlake Village. But when we looked at our Google PPC closings, it was $1,800 per closing. When we looked at both, we're like, this is ridiculously stupid to continue to market with Zillow. So this is why we went all in. And now we're north of $20,000 a month just on Google PPC spend. So when you look at it that way per closing, you're like, got it. It makes sense. But to Zach's point, like, you got to have your systems down, and you have to make sure that the people that are calling this, like, they're actually, they understand how the leads work and what they need to do to close them long-term. It's a magnificent question, Ruth. JC, could you connect with Ruth? Because she wants to know what else she can be doing as far as lead generating and optimizing that lead generation.
Yes, 100%. Ruth, I'll reach out to you and I'll connect you with our training team. We have a fabulous training team in-house, and we also have Sierra Academy built into the CRM that Zach was showing. So I'll reach out to you, Ruth.
And then I'll show you guys what Google PPC is really quick, so you can see how all the companies out there that are not agents, brokers, us, right? It's us with us, all right? Nobody cares about our competition. They just want to take us out, meaning Zillow, Realtor.com, all of the home builders. I'm going to show you something really quick. But first, I want to get to the questions. There were some really good ones. We saw the front end design, great. Properties filtered from the MLS. Shananda, yes, all the properties come in directly from the MLS. How do you get the people to stay on with you if you give them the open houses? Zach, I'm going to go to you. What do you say?
Well, let's go into the how do you get people to stay on with you to get the open house? What do you what's
when you send them the open houses?
Yeah.
How do you, I mean, you run the risk of them going to
okay. So let's role play that with me real quick. Tristan, will you ask me to send you a list of open houses?
Yeah, Zach, yeah. So you know what? Send me a list of open houses. I'm here this weekend.
Hey, awesome. Hey, so I make sure I send you the right type. What area you're looking in?
I'm looking at Edmond.
You're looking at Edmond. Awesome. What price range?
No more than 300,000.
No more than 300. Awesome. What's got you looking at Edmond?
We're thinking of relocating from. Look, listen, I live in California, so I can probably buy like 50 homes with the sell of my one home.
Do it.
So, you know.
Perfect. We'll turn those other ones into rental properties. We'll manage those for you too.
Yes.
Awesome. Sorry, are you currently working with an agent?
No, look, I think I'm just looking online. I don't want to.
And by the way, cash or finance?
Definitely cash.
Cash is perfect. Well, tell you what, I'm happy to just meet you out at a few houses instead of doing an open. What's your schedule like this weekend?
Well, we're going to be in and out. So the idea was if you sent us the open houses, we would just kind of pop in whenever we were driving by, you know.
Yeah, but hey, matter of fact, no problem. The link's in your email. Hey, will you do today is Wednesday. Today's Wednesday. You're gonna try to look at open on Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, probably Saturday.
Probably Saturday. Perfect. Well, very, very good. Well, let me know if you have any questions about those houses, and then we'll go from there. And then I'm gonna follow up tomorrow. Hey, do you have any questions on those houses? Right, we're going down we're just going down any. We're going to give them information, right? We're going to deliver that, but not without getting something back. We're going to get what you want back.
Yeah.
Which in turn helps you more.
Most of these, remember, when we're using the open house ones for people that have been kind of dead in our database. So the point is to get them to raise their hand to be like, hey, I'm still alive. Yeah, send me the list. And now you can start again and be like, okay, got it. Now I'm going to follow up. Let's get a little closer to where you are. And that's the whole idea.
That's it.
That's why I thought it was a great question.
I love that question.
This one's for JC. I don't know if you know this one. Scott says, how well is the integration from other lead sources outside the big box companies? How do you overcome the emails going to spam instead of inbox? 2 questions there. Do you know the answer, guys?
Yeah, so on the integration front, Sierra does integrate with a lot of different lead sources because the goal is nurturing them all and driving them all into your CRM so that you can see the action that they're taking on your site. So we do integrate with a lot of different companies. If we don't have a direct integration, a lot of our customers use API Nation or Zapier or one of those like middleware companies to drive leads into the Sierra site. But we have hundreds of integrations set up, largely across different resources as well.
And can I speak to the email portion, JC?
Yeah, go ahead.
Shoot, where'd it go? I was gonna speak to the email. Now I lost my question.
Email.
It was how do you overcome?
Oh, the spam. Yeah.
Yeah, spam.
That's something we had an issue with that at other systems in the past, and the emails we synced ours with SendGrid, and we're able to get a much higher deliverability and open rate powering through that. It takes some time to season it and do it right. There's a lot of things you need to do well up front, but it integrates with SendGrid, so we're able to send a mass amount of emails without getting those massive spam. I think we're at like a 98% reputation and 99.3% deliverability rate with a 0.04% spam flag. So being able to by having those metrics and be able to deliver a good list, season it correctly, appropriately, you're going to continue to have a high deliverability.
I love that, man. I love those numbers too. Now, I want to show, we're way over, but who cares? I'm learning. I'm going to share with you Google. We're going to have a little fun, and then I'll let everybody go here. Homes for sale in Oklahoma. If I spell this wrong, don't kill me, okay? Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
There. Good. I'm glad Google helped me. Look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking to you about. Sponsored, sponsored. Big metro areas will always have 4 sponsored before they get into the organic SEO. But I want to show you that the people that you're buying leads from, they're playing this game at a high level. Zillow, Realtor.com, and I can do this all day in different areas, and it'll always mix between these two. Redfin, builders, you'll see the Toll Brothers, you'll see everyone. Now this one looks like it. Is this your competition, Zach?
That looks like it.
Okay, so that's somebody that's smart, right? Like Zach. And everyone else that's buying from these people, stop it. Just do it yourself and get the process down. Like, we've run the numbers for years. There's no reason, unless you're lazy, that you should be buying it from them. We look at the bottom line of big teams and brokerages, and we see how their net is because they go through these companies. So go and do your own Google PPC through Sierra, have the systems down, invest in getting better at talking to people and connecting with them, because no one's going to beat us out when we treat this like a relationship business.
You're the nail on the head. Don't stop buying from the portals, please.
Yeah, please do yourself a favor. JC, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think too, Zach, you've seen a big increase in your SEO traffic. So the organic traffic coming in based on results from the content. You mentioned that you're building out your guide pages and you're kind of building out more blogging content. Do you want to chat about that for a second?
I'm happy to. One of my biggest, one of the things that people, we see a lot of talking heads in real estate, right? You say, well, other people, I'm doing this, or I'm going to do this, or I have this thing, right? And I really don't like talking about stuff until I can have it proven and give you real numbers behind it. And we're still early in this new build out session. I will tell you that the organic traffic is significantly up from where it was with where it has been.
Zach, where's the traffic coming from? Is it coming from some of these community pages, or is it coming
yeah. I'm gonna pull my other screen here in a second and just
Thanks,
go.
buddy.
I'm probably not gonna share this one, but I'm just gonna go read down my list.
Oh, good. Shoot.
No, you're fine.
That way I can just copy everything you're doing.
Okay, fine. It's R&D, right? Rip off and duplicate.
Let's see why it froze here. All right, let's see. Back.
All right, so we're getting a lot of traction off of those longer tail keyword searches.
Okay.
Right, so you're going to get a lot of traction off the low competition stuff. So what the search you just plugged in was Oklahoma City homes for sale. right? That's going to have a lot of competition. It's going to be an expensive ad to run. So we're targeting for a better ROI. I think you mentioned this earlier. You looked at your numbers per lead on a Zillow source or a PPC source, and we look at the same thing on different keywords and ads as well, right? And then also in the SEO stuff. So what are the high search terms that are local that are?
I just did a long tail keyword search for you, just because I was like, let's see what happens. So I typed in homes for sale in Oklahoma City around the college and university.
Oh, there's a sponsored one for sure.
And there you go. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, there we go.
That's a sponsored one, but still, that's a long tail keyword.
Yeah, we're doing both. We're doing the ads and we're doing it off of the SEO approach, right? It has to all work together. If they see you up in the ad and they see you down below, right? It doesn't just double your conversion. It's the sum of the what's the old saying, JC? The sum of the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yep,
right?
exactly.
Multiplier effect instead of an addition effect. So they all work together.
I love that.
And all work together. Yeah, it's a lot of long tail stuff. The stuff that has a lot of low competition. As far as because Zillow doesn't have the bandwidth to go talk about 144 Lockland in Yukon, Oklahoma, which is on back into a pond, right?
Yeah, they'll never go into the niche.
Right. And so they're just a different, have a different model. And so if we know there's openings in those ways, that's what we're going to target and build out.
You got it.
That's not complicated, it's just a lot of work.
Yeah, and from a Sierra standpoint, I think one of the big competitive differentiations between us and all the other website providers out there is just that our websites are built on native application. So we don't build on WordPress or Squarespace or any of those website providers. Ours is all natively built from the ground up, and we pride ourselves on being very SEO friendly and SEO powered because it's in the bones of our platform and our website structure to be able to continually index your site and continue to prompt Google to crawl your site and your pages, which will help boost your organic traffic over time, even if you're not proactively blogging out for those long tail keywords that you guys are talking about right now. That will definitely help, take your organic traffic from here to here. But in terms of just the overall site structure itself, we're really built from the ground up to be able to power organic traffic and SEO results.
I love that. That's awesome. Thank you, Jay. I actually didn't know that. Thank you.
Of course.
Zach, I feel like we could go for another probably like 30 minutes straight with pure knowledge. So I'm going to stop it.
Perfect.
We already had somebody say great info. So there's the link if you want to test out Sierra, if you want to take a look at them. JC, there were a few people here that needed you to reach out to them. One of them was Prayful. He's a friend of mine. So Prayful, reach out to JC, or JC can reach out to them. JC, you can reach out to me if you don't get his info. I've got it. Ruth, thank you for jumping in here. You had 2 great questions there. So I hope that you do go deeper into this and start jumping into Google PPC so you can start seeing great results, especially in your area, because I know it's working well there. And let me make sure I got everything else. Good. Pay-per-click. We explained that. All right. That's a wrap. Zach, dude, you rock this, bro. I'd love to talk to you more when you have the full build out on the communities to see what that looks like, to see how you strategize that, where you got the info, maybe how you even use ChatGPT to build this out, made it your own, put in links. I want to see this.
Perfect. So, well, I don't want to say a timeline publicly, but it's going to be really, really soon.
Tomorrow. Perfect. Well,
no pressure, Zach.
Thanks for doing this, man. JC, thanks for jumping in and helping out too.
Of course. Thanks so much, Tristan.
All right. See you, JC. Nice to meet you.
Bye, guys.